Trying again.
Okie dokie.
But I don't think it's working still. There it is. Okay. We have sound.
Now there's sound.
There it is. Okay. We have sound.
Now there's sound.
And we're running off of the 5G network.
Now there's sound.
And we're running off of the 5. And it's not pixelated anymore. So go for it.
Okay. Are we live right now again?
Yes.
Well, sorry for that false start. Technical difficulties, but we're back. And welcome back to Paint With Me. It's going to be an exciting season of it. It's been a little while, 18 months. We had a false start a few minutes ago. Some of you may have been there. But we're going to just have fun today. We're going to do some nice, simple, creative stuff today, working with leftover materials I have, but primarily with the Amsterdam acrylics on some wood here. And we're going to just try to have some fun, create without fear. So let's get back to it. We were on it, and then we paused for technical mayhem resolutions. And I started out working into the wet surface, laying down some nice bright reflex pink for a little background color. And now so a lot of times I might have an idea of something a little more realistic, and I start laying it out, and then the abstract in me completely takes over. And this is a very common occurrence. And as I said earlier, what you didn't hear, Kristen is here behind the camera.
Hello.
And she is the tech guru behind everything. She's working on making it all work today. For the first time back, I didn't really have time to test anything. Hugo slept way in today, like a big old log. He was a big log today.
Yeah.
And he is having his breakfast right now. Little ultramarine. I've come to really respect ultramarine. And Payne's gray, too. Another really fun. I'm putting on probably more paint than I need to right now. Let me see if I can find the Payne's gray. There it is. Let's put some of that in there. Trying to use palette knife as much as possible today. And then I'm going to get some titanium white. This may end up just being one of my abstract palette pieces. Oh, whoops. It's a little more than I like right there. Let's just try and let's get the big palette knife way over here. It's a little different view than we've done before, I think, isn't it, Kristen?
Yeah, usually we're the other way, but we want to go simplified in one camera, so this is what we decided to do today.
Look at how pretty that's. A lot of fun. Oh yeah, I've already gone off of my process here. I'm just moving paint around now because it's just plain fun.
Where is your Wi-Fi router?
It's dead. Remember, the Wi-Fi router that was on our list of things to redo after we redid all the routers, right?
Yeah.
There we go. All done. Oh, man. So that's really kind of fun to just really move large amounts of paint around. So I can change the angle of my blade and affect what happens with it. Let's pull this up from the bottom. Oh, we got a lot of extra.
Maggie likes the new view.
Yeah? Thanks, Maggie. We got a lot of extra paint. Usually I have a board nearby that I can work with, put the extra paint on. Ooh, that's fun. But we just want to play, let's do some play today. That is a very warped palette knife. Gonna have to play with that a little bit here. Yeah, that's fun. So I can save the places, the parts that I like, I can save, and I can also scrape through as I go. I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting here. It's just fun to put paint on a surface. I don't come to the painting with the intention of making a masterpiece. I'm coming to the painting with the intention of having some fun, getting in that creative zone. And I'd suggest no matter what your layer of experiences that you maybe consider just approaching it just to have fun. It's supposed to be fun, right? Making this stuff. A lot of times I'll start these paintings and then come back to them later and do some additional work, adding, subtracting even. I don't expect a lot of people to see this from the live today, but if you're watching the recorded version, please feel free to comment, and we'll try to keep up with that. The YouTube platform is a little bit different than the Instagram. Some of our friends that hopefully will watch this later, I hope to hear from them. Rich and Janet, that means you. Do some mark making now. I can't just leave it alone, you know. There we go. That's kind of fun. Structure. A little gesture in there. It's that time of the year, winter-wise, that I really think about the gardens and flowers, and makes Kristen crazy because I start making floral landscapes and things like that.
Makes me crazy because it was your idea to move farther north.
Yeah, but we still love it here, though. We love to live. It's got a great art community here. And the airport can take us just about anywhere we want to go. A little mark making here. That's kind of fun. So I might set this one aside. I did bring another board out because I know how this usually goes. Sometimes it's done right away. Other times I have to look at it and then I can play around with it a little bit later. But I do have a 2x3 over here. I think what I might do with this is maybe I'll get the soft pastels and play with that a little bit. I'm gonna put that excess paint over here for later. So I think we're going to be starting up our artist interviews again too.
Yep.
Artist interviews. Looking forward to that. The Paint with Me. We'll have other artists from the region around the Minnesota area. We're based in Duluth, Minnesota. And we have a lot of artist friends all over from this area. And we're going to bring them in like we did before. If you want to check out some of those, we had the abstract group that was in, right? And we had a, here's a really boring part, is saturating the board. So with soft pastels, the Rembrandt soft pastels I work with, I sometimes will start with just the pastels and then I'll build up the surface with the acrylics later. It's a really great way to start. And then sometimes I like the soft pastel work so much that I just try to finish it off that way. I have a whole series right now of 3x4 foots that I really love. Really, really love them a lot. So just big, broad gestures. Oh, I got a little more water on there than I wanted. And I've been really interested in curves, arcs, circles. And it all relates to arches that I used to do, ancient arches, Romanesque, Greek. So there's always a reference to those kinds of landscapes and structures. So I'm just going to make some gestures with an idea of like a hillside, moonscape, flowers, fields. Sometimes people, I have had some, if you check out the social media or even the website's been a little bit updated. Kristen did a great job.
Yeah, updated that a little bit. We are now on Blue Sky, by the way, for anybody else who is
Blue is better.
trying to find new places.
Yeah, so I haven't really posted anything there yet, but we are there. And that's the important thing.
I don't know. I joined it this week out of duress for other clients.
For another client, yeah.
And honestly, it's fun.
Is it?
Yeah. It's really interactive. It's kind of the best of all of them squished together. I really enjoy it. Hi, Mike. Nice to have you back.
Mike.
Oh, Maggie, you're probably just overthinking it.
Overthinking my art?
No, the Blue Sky.
Oh, the Blue Sky one, yeah. Oh, that has some acrylic paint on it. Surprise, surprise. I got to dig my way through. Sometimes I'll take a little piece of sandpaper and grind my way back through if I have too much of the acrylic on there. So this is a soft pastel, and I'm working on a wet surface. You saw a very boring process of wetting the board down. And this is kind of a really nice water-resistant plywood, a 1/4-inch plywood. And I swear the only place I can find it is at Mr. DeSanto's Lakeside Lumber here in Duluth. Because we tried dozens of different brands from all different suppliers.
I wouldn't say dozens.
It feels like dozens.
It's only because it's expensive.
It's
And
at
every
least
time
a
it doesn't
dozen.
work, it's frustrating.
Well, many different boards over the years. I'd say it's a dozen if I were to actually think about that. And some work better than others. I think the birch ply usually is pretty good. It's a finished ply, but that's a really expensive one. This one is not a bad price at all. It's, at least for now. Prices came down. There's a first in lumber. And then I cut it up in the pieces I want, and I can store a lot of work in a small area by doing that. And then when I'm ready, I can have it framed, or I do a backing frame myself. So this is like a painting, drawing situation happening. I don't really, I mean, it is a painting. I mean, I'm using very fine pigment. The Rembrandt soft pastels have a very high content of pigment in it. I'm gonna wet that down a little bit. The carrier, though, in this case, well, it has a talc, a really fine clay that is a binder to bind the pigment into these sticks. But then most people use them in a manner of dry, on a dry surface, which is fine. But what I absolutely adore is this idea of the water. It's basically a watercolor, I guess. I'm making a watercolor.
No, it's just wet pigment.
It's watercolor. You can see really beautiful, bright colors we can get with this. I'm going to do a little palette knife work on here after we build up a little more, and I might add a little bit of acrylic. You just never know around here. Anything can happen. I shouldn't put that in front of the camera. So, here's another light blue. Ooh, that's pretty. And I can blend. See, I can blend. Create some gradients using this. Let's come over here and blend this a little bit. It's easy to travel with these soft pastels. We recently had to travel, and I carried these with me, and they were really easy to work with. Let's go up here. So I'm making really quick decisions about what I'm doing. I don't want to put that in front of the camera. That's my habit, though. It goes on this side when I'm painting normally, because that's the side I work on. Oh, we're going to do some big paintings again soon. Anybody that's followed us for any length of time remembers the big ones that I used to do on the floor, especially when Hugo would get involved with the painting process. And we're going to do some more. I have 2 big raw canvases we're going to be working with, and it's going to be so fun. I don't know if we'll do that next week or not. We just weren't really ready today for the first time back. We were trying desperately not to make it complicated, and then the sound was out on the first one.
It's because it's always complicated. Doesn't matter how many variables I remove, I feel like another one just pops up.
Another one comes in just to test my poor wife, who's like doing this sort of stuff all the time now. Marketing manager extraordinaire.
Hey, I'm freelance now. Anybody wants to snag me?
Yep. Website. You do website building.
Mm-hmm.
You've done coding, integrated systems with sales stuff, or
Yeah.
online sales. I mean, geez, one of the companies you work for, their increase was astonishing. Even I was like, what? No way.
Hey, when you've got a good product, but you don't know how to get out there.
It helps to have somebody that knows all the secret magic words. But she's so busy, I hardly get her anymore.
That's true.
I can't afford her.
That's also true.
What else were we going to do this time around? We're just trying to keep it simple.
Yeah, we're just going to try and keep it under a half hour, try to be simple, and take questions from the audience if anybody has any.
Yeah, and like I said, this will be recorded.
No, it's not.
Oh,
it'll be on YouTube.
It'll be on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
It won't be in our archives.
Archives?
It won't be on like a separate device for us to have later.
It'll be in the YouTube.
Yeah.
We knew that going in. But that was the choice, though. We wanted to just focus on the YouTube primarily right now.
Yep.
It's the one, we call it an evergreen platform, I believe. Isn't that the term?
It is.
It is? Did I use it wrong?
No, you didn't. You're treading into delicate territory right now.
Oh, why is that? You can tell me later, I guess.
Can't tell you right now. All right. So.
Moving on, apparently. I don't know what the territory is. I got to find something bright. I need a bright orange something here. Either that, or I'm going to put bright orange acrylic into this. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to.
Maggie says it's great, but she misses the great coffee.
The what? The great coffee from our Jura. If you haven't heard this Jura, feel free to send us a new one. Ours is getting old.
Hey, that thing is going to last into my retirement.
One would hope. We got that. It's not the really, really expensive one, but we got it as a gift for ourselves. One of our first anniversaries, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. It was our first anniversary. We're coming up on 10, by the way, this year.
Yeah. So feel free to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel as our anniversary present to us. Ooh, howdy. Check that out. So remember I said we might work a little bit of acrylic in on this, and I will. Now my preference with the acrylic, excuse me, is if I'm using acrylic and I want to go over it again with the pastels, is I'll add a flat medium to it, a matte medium.
Yeah.
And that allows some tooth. When it's a really glossy finish, you have a hard time getting the pastels to stick as well as you might want it to. So now I'm going to look. I got a lot of paint left. I'm going to try put it over here maybe. Maybe I'll put it over here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just having fun. Let's pull that this way and see what happens. There we go. So you can see it's picking up some of that pigment and bringing it into its own new characteristics. And scrape that down, scrape it right off. Check that out though. So that wood, the pores in that wood have picked up a lot of extra pigment. It's impregnated into the board. And that is super cool. Why I like this, because you can scrape down, add layers, come back in. You can do the acrylic over the top of it as well. Let's see what this does over here. Following the line I made. I don't really like that, so let's just get rid of that. Come back to that later, maybe. And let's work some white. I'm working a lot more with lighter colors.
Well, we don't have enough snow right now. She might as well use white.
Yeah, it's just a trace. There's grass showing up through. It's crazy. I don't like it. We have cross-country ski trails 5 minutes from the house. But the last 2 years, we haven't been able to use them. I have to drive 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes to get to
the man-made snow.
The man-made snow, which I am extremely grateful for. Look, I put it over there this time. All right, let's just really scrunch some white into this section here.
Scrunch, is that a technical term?
That's a new technical term.
Scrunching.
You have to be registered with one of the... Oh, hey, by the way, speaking of being registered, I have moved up in the world as a Royal Talons ambassador now. I've put my time in, and now I'm master ambassador for Royal Talons. Pretty fun and exciting.
Got some workshops coming up this summer.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, I've got one in July 4th weekend up in Grand Marais?
Yes.
Yeah.
July 4th weekend, Grand Marais, at the Art Center up there. We'll be posting about that pretty soon at some point. There'll be a lot of marketing around that. But what's fun is we'll be able to stay there, the family, and we'll be able to enjoy the fireworks right there up in, whoops, there it goes. Up there in Grand Marais. And we'll do a four-day workshop. I forget what it is.
I don't know. You still haven't sent me the details.
I don't have it.
Nudge, nudge.
I think the staff up there is still. It's after the first of the year. I mean, everybody's just getting back to it, right? I mean, I've only done a few paintings so far, so that's nice. So it's picking up the pigment. This is white, believe it or not, but it's picking up it's adding a nice gray, some tonal qualities here that I really am enjoying.
Anybody else here painting today or getting creative in some way? I'm going to go work on my book later with my daughter over Zoom.
Yeah, that's really exciting. She's close to publishing.
Well, I'm close to finished.
Well, isn't the next step publishing after that?
Well, the next step is a query letter, then getting an agent, then selling.
Yeah, Maggie knows about that kind of stuff. And Kelly, or if she's watching, our good friend Kelly, who's an author, has several books under her name now with her partner. Okay, moving in here a little bit. So you can see we've got two really fun starts to the painting. I'd like to point out once again, people say, oh, you did it really quickly. And yeah, sometimes it's done like this. Most of the time it's not. Most of the time it ends up in rocking chair land. So over on the other side of the room, I don't know if you probably can't see it with anything, but there are several different paintings up on the boards, on the easels, and they're all in process. You might be getting blinded by light. And so that zone, there's my mother's rocking chair there. And I sit there and I sneak up on the painting sometimes, and just rock and do nothing and stare at everything. And then I see out of the corner of my eye the line that I have to put in. I jump up, I run to the painting, I make the line, and I go back to the chair, I sit again. And that's the process that takes forever to do. Now my son, Hugo, made these special painting tools right here. I actually did a painting with it for him. And so it kind of works as a sgraffito, but I can also make some marks in it. He's 7, so he has fun making things and sculpting. And So anytime he does this, I try to incorporate something into the painting. He's not painting with us today.
Nope, he is.
Not today, but he will. Especially when we do the big ones. He likes to make a big mess on my stuff.
As long as it's in the studio and not in my house.
Yeah, we're very fortunate for that, aren't we? It's very likely that between here and the house, the walk between a lot of it sloughs off, and then the mud room, and so most of the chaos, the cacophony stays into this room. I gotta do something there. I feel like another brightly colored orange, maybe different kind of
I don't know. Take a
orange.
vote from the audience.
Too late. I'm already doing it.
I'm as bad as you are because at work now they tell me something and I start doing it and they're like, "No, stop! Wait, we have to." And I'm like, "It's done."
It's already done. Too late. Here's the orange.
Think it through before you ask me to do something because I'm just going to do it. I think they call that an activator personality.
I don't know. Do they?
Yeah. I just learned that term recently.
Yeah. So this, I don't know if anybody can see it, but by having the black pastel or charcoal, you can use either one down there, or graphite even. You can also, I start out sometimes with a burnt umber as my starting color instead of the black. But either way, that color mixes with whatever you put over the top and creates what I like is a nice patina or rustication or kind of an instant age look to it. And I really like that. Plus it gives it some gradients. The figurative series, Kristen, has been really interesting lately to do. And there's some pieces that are over there. So I never thought I would go back into the figurative realm that I have.
Yeah, you have one over there that I really like, and I'm worried you're going to destroy before I get to keep it.
Which one? You have to show me that.
Oh, the one on the easel with all the arches.
Oh.
I'm afraid I'm going to walk in here and you're going to have destroyed all of the beautiful architecture, and I'm going to be frustrated.
Well, I'm not planning on it, but to destroy it. So the fun thing here is the little bright orange neon-ish, we call it reflex color, is mixing with the pastels. And I can continue to work in with some glazes. I can work in some powdered types of stuff too.
Director moment. You've got 2 minutes.
2 minutes. All right. So this is where we are with this one in process. I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to bring this one back down and I'm going to throw something on it. 2 minutes, director says. Let's lay this paint down here for later. So this is a board on a board. So this is 4x4 board on a board. And I start painting, I use them, and then they become a painting later. So we're back to this one. One of the things I have a lot of that I really enjoy are these different powders, pigment powders. And
should you be using a mask when you're wearing
You should.
This? Okay. As everybody, generally, you should be wearing a mask right now.
Yeah.
You're using
and
powder
I
to
generally
anything.
do. My asthma is quite bad nowadays, so I do. And then this is a spray that I'm not going to spray, but it's a metallic from another brand. And I'm going to put this in here. And I'm going to kind of bring it around this way, like that. And this is where I'm going to leave you at some point with this very interesting things I'm doing with this. It's another little mica. It's a mica powder. And I'm going to put that in there. Yeah, because of the asthma, I wear the mask all the time when I do these. But for a few moments and being gentle, it'll be okay. And then I might spritz it a little so it gives it a little fluidity. And what's that's gonna add some really fun sparkles, some more background structure. Not structure background, but more of a sense of depth by having those reflective surfaces. Palette knife, because I can't help myself. And then you'll see if you follow some of the social media, whatever one you want to follow us on, you will see some of the advances on this particular painting. You'll see the results. So I will post some pictures of these things along with some details, hopefully.
All right,
we're
you
getting
get
close.
a few more marks, and then you got to sign off, my
Okay.
friend.
Now I'm going to throw in really quick gold, liquid gold. Well, it's not really liquid gold. It's gold acrylic.
Yeah.
Ink, acrylic ink from Amsterdam again. As you can tell, they're one of my. So I'm going to put some of this around, and that'll act as my highlights as well. And I'm going to move that around on the painting after I leave you. So thanks for joining us. First time back in 18 months. I think we did a couple random ones here and there, but
We did, but yeah.
but
We're going to try this very simple form moving forward. I'll probably stay at this angle, and it'll be just the one camera. And yeah, find us over on Blue Sky. I'm going to make him start posting there today. And yeah, I'll put a tutorial up later that I said I would. So everybody who's an artist and would like to know how to create their own account, check back in with us probably about 4 o'clock today. And I'll have that tutorial live for you.
Can't believe she's doing that, but she is. She likes us. She really likes us.
Eh.
Oh, heartbreaking. Well, thank you,
right.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
We're going to sign off. Remember, like and subscribe. It helps us out, and you get to follow us then.
And create without fear.
Create without fear. Hashtag. Use it. Live it. Bye, everyone. We'll see you soon. It's been great fun.